We just got dropped off here at the south end of Kice Island with Treasure Seeker Shell Tours. We are really excited to see what it looks like. So surprisingly to me, the waves actually look pretty calm out there. But we are gonna see what is on the beach. So thank you for joining me on this episode on the Virtual Shelling Network. We are going to explore this island in the 10,000 Islands just south of Marco. You can see that we've already got a really cool rack line of shells that have kicked up. And the water, it's high tide right now. The tide should be going out right now. But you can see the water is at the moment very, very murky and cloudy. So the break line is not going to be a great place to shell right now, but maybe on our way back. So we're gonna walk down a little ways and then we're gonna see what we find. Okay, I have to come up here and check this out. Apparently yesterday some kids made this and I'm like super impressed because, you know, to make something out of literally nothing takes talent. Look how cool. It's like a little teepee and it looks like they took some I'm trying to get to where you guys can see the whole thing in the frame. Some like logs and vines and wrapped them all up. Look how cool. I mean, this is pretty impressive. And they even put a little flag at the top. Isn't that cool? The fun things that you will see on the beach. So lots of beach here. You can see there's a little bit of a rack line up here. Lots of fun driftwood. So I'm gonna be collecting some driftwood today for those of you who have beach treasure boxes because I love driftwood and I know a lot of you have said that you really hope that you get some pieces of driftwood in your boxes. So that's gonna be something really fun. The other thing I'm hoping to find is maybe some dried up egg casings because those are always super fun to have, you know, in a shell display or whatnot. Ooh, look at this ginormous angel wing. You think it's broken, but look how big that thing is. Wow. There's a really pretty light conch here. It's a blue conch. See if we see anything cool that kind of pops out, jumps out at us. This is a place where I'm going to be looking for egg casings too. They kind of get tangled and washed up in these little bundles a lot of the time with the seaweed. Now, driftwood like this that has these little holes in them, these little holes are actually made by clams. So if you look real close right there, I'm gonna prop this up. Right here, you'll actually see one of them, which is kind of cool. And same thing on this side too, you'll be able to see some of them in there. So that's always pretty neat. Try to make sure I'm focused. It's super bright out here. So anytime you come to shell anywhere down here on the beach, make sure that you have sunscreen, make sure that you have a hat, and I highly recommend bringing sunglasses because the sun reflects off of the sand and the water and it is so incredibly bright. You can see right here there's a high tide line. You guys can see, hopefully it shows up on camera, but in the sand where you can see where the high tide came in. And as we get further down, you're gonna see that there's more stuff washed up on the beach, which is really fun. Here's a little paper fig. Oh, a little paper fig that made it whole. That's really exciting. In our shell bag. We find shells all the time, but what I'm after post-storm is like other beach treasures, things that we don't see a lot. We don't see a lot of driftwood. We don't find a lot of encasings. I would love to find some mermaid purses, which everybody loves. Things like that that we don't really get to find all the time. So let's go down here and see what we've got cooking further down the beach. Okay, so I want to show you guys, like down here the beach looks really clean, and then all of a sudden you've got all this beach trash. Remember, I always talk about beach trash being not like garbage from people, but just trash from the ocean, just seaweed and just stuff. And then where we came from, there wasn't a whole lot of it down there. So this is where I love to look through beach trash, because this is going to be where you find all of the fun beach treasures that aren't necessarily seashells. So we're gonna let me kind of go down here a little bit so you guys can, I'm trying to decide which way the wind is gonna be the best, because it is a little bit breezy. Can you guys see all the beach trash? You can see it in the water too. Alright, so we're going to come up here and kind of go this way so you guys can see. Now it's a little stinky because there are little snail there. It's like a little periwinkle maybe hanging on. So there is some sea life in here that gets washed up with the storm. But this is such a fun place. Here's a little operculum right here. These are really fun areas to find. Now, there's stinky areas and they're sometimes a little bit dirty. Oh, here's a perfect paper fig. I can never find paper figs that are really nicely formed. They're usually broken and chipped and in pieces, so that's a nice treat to find them when they are not broken. Let's see what else. Lots of little pieces of sea pork. There's some sea sponges. Again, sea sponges look nice and pretty. They're nice and bright orange or bright yellow, but when they dry out, they're gonna lose all of their color and they're gonna be very, very stinky. So I never recommend taking them because they're just kind of a pain. They never end up drying out the color that you think they're gonna be, and they're super, super smelly. I'm not really seeing too much here. Oh, here's another operculum. Is it attached to? Nope. It's broken, but there's a little piece of an operculum there. I would love to find some mermaid purses in all this. Look at all this stuff. Hiding. Nice. Let me focus. Oh, there's a really pretty cone. Pretty Florida cone here. Nice, pretty orange one. Okay, so I feel like there's two kinds of people. I feel like there are light conch people and dark conch people. So tell me, are you the type of person that sees a really light, like a blonde yellow conch like this and just like loves it? Or are you the type of person that sees a super dark, like a chocolate brown conch? I'm a light conch person. Like when I see something super light like that, I just love it. I mean, I like dark conchs too, but like the rich colored ones. But there's something about just a super light conch and I just love it. I don't know. I just love it. So there is so many shells right here, and I wish the tide was just out a little bit, but I'm hoping on our way back we'll be able to see a little bit better, because this rack line right here is amazing. I don't know if you guys will be able to catch a glimpse or not of the shells here, but it looks awesome. So we're gonna be heading up here into the forest, if you will, and that is where we're gonna go and find some cool stuff. So right away, right here at the base of this stump, we've got a big horse conch. And it's broken, but it's still really pretty and really pretty cleaned up. So that's really fun. And a lot of the time, when you're looking around the bases of these stumps, is where stuff gets stuck. So shells will get kind of wedged in there. See, like these conchs got stuck there. So that's always kind of a fun place to look as you're shelling. And then obviously the other place is going to be up here where your rack line would be, to see what we can find. And somebody on the boat asked me today, they're like, well, you know, if you were here the day before, are you still going to find shells? And honestly, guys, like, every day at a beach is different. Every tide is gonna be different. Look at this pretty, you guys see this pretty orange Florida cone? This is like such a great place to find Florida cones if you're a Florida cone person. They're usually everywhere around here because they're really nice, pretty auger, and we'll just make sure nobody's home in there. Another Florida cone. This is the same place that I was at when I came out with Tammy on Treasure Seekers tour, and we walked down the same beach, and it was on the way back that I found that really pretty Junonia. So myself and everybody walked right by it on the way down, and then I found it on the way back. So, you know, you're never gonna find everything. So right here, this is a big whelk that's buried right there. I'll be able to see if I can dig it up. Oh, it's just a piece, but you can see that it was buried there, sand. So always look for things that are buried in the sand. Just rinse off my hand here. And always look for things that are stuck around the trees. Some conchs, there's some periwinkle snails that are cruising right along there. So here's the other side of that tree. So the little snails are right over here. And on the other side of this tree, there's like a little pool of water here. And here comes some waves, but in here there's a really pretty conch. Look how pretty that conch is. And then over here is a gorgeous nutmeg. Look how pretty this nutmeg is. Beautiful. There's some more little snails hanging out. So like I said, you're never going to find everything there is to see. And I guarantee you that even on the way back, you're gonna find things you didn't find on the way there. So always keep your eyes open, and every time the waves come in, they push in new shells, they uncover shells that, you know, were buried in the sand. So always keep your eyes open. Look over here. And so we've got a little Florida cone here. And then we've got another one laying up here. There. Told you, this is like a place for alphabets, or for Florida cones, and alphabets too. I hope we find some today. This is is usually a great area for cones in general. Let's just see what we got over here. And as the tide goes out, this will all become uncovered. And as you can see, it leaves behind shells in these little, kind of little tide pools here. Here's a little horse conch. Here, let's see what kind of things in there. Good size little horse conch. Look at that. Yeah. So when you're out on a shell tour and they bring you to one of these awesome islands, the hardest thing is to decide where to shell. And like I said, you never have to worry about, you know, whether or not there's going to be shells, because you're never going to be able to cover all the area. You're never going to be able to see all the things. So I'm way up here in the highest wrack line. So there's a big shell pile right here that you can go through. And then here, there's a bunch of shells that get caught up when they get pushed up over these branches, and then they get stuck. So this is another place that is, super awesome. I almost tripped. Super awesome to look. There's a big sunray Venus here. This is another awesome place to look for shells up in this kind of, I guess we can call it a wrack line. Look at this little, let's see if this is attached. Look at that. Look how pretty that is. You guys see? I love those. So this is another place that you can look for fun treasures. And then you can go down and there's all kinds of stuff down there. So, you know, there's so many places that you can look, and you're never gonna be able to look at every single crevice and under every single branch and uncover every sand pile. So you never have to worry, but at the same time, you have to really seek and take your time. And I know people tend to kind of walk really fast and they're excited and they want to get to where they're going, but like in this shell pile right here, I mean, I can stay here for an hour and probably find some really amazing things. And people walk right by this shell pile and they just glance really quick and they really don't see anything. Like all the people that came with us on the boat are all way down there. I don't even know where they are. They're not here, but they're not looking through the shell pile, right? So let's just see what we find just really quick. So here's the Venus sunray right here. Hold on, let me make sure that I really can't see with my sunglasses on. I'm gonna do the best I can. Okay, there's a little conch right here. So we got a little Venus sunray, we have a little conch. Here's another little conch right here. And you know, conchs are common and people might say, I don't want conchs, so that's fine. We're gonna find more stuff. Here's a little horse conch, which is like adorable. And here's another little horse conch, which is again adorable, because you know, who doesn't love little orange shells? And this is also a great place to find tinies. So if we look, let's just see if we look really close. Here's a little limpet right here. Take a little drill right here. There's a little cool piece of coral right here. I mean, me, I could stay in this pile right here all day and look for tinies and look for minis. Just right here. There's a little tulip right by my foot here. This is in my shell bag. Let's see if you guys see anything. There's another little, is that a murex or a drill right here? And there's a shark eye, cute shark eye right here. There's a little top. A little cone. So I mean, this shell pile is gold. I mean, you could fill your shell bag just by sitting here, and I'm sure there's like some really cool stuff in here too. I mean, ooh, here's an olive. I mean, if you start digging, I'm sure you're gonna find some really cool shells. Not even just minis and tinies, but here's another top. I love tops. There's a worm shell. I love the little worms. Look at the little worm shell. How cute is that? Like I said, a part of me wants to go and like explore the beach, and the other part of me would just plant right here. Is this a true tulip? Look, true tulip. Hello, boom, beautiful. This is gonna be so pretty oiled. True tulip right here in the shell pile. Like, I would be perfectly happy just camping out right here in the shell pile for the next like 3 hours. Here's another cone. Like this shell pile is like where it's at. I can feel it. There's like such good things in here. Here's another really shiny olive. Here. Oh, do you guys see that top? A really dark one. Look at this one. Look how pretty this is. I'm hoping I'm focused. I really can't see anything. The sun is so bright. You wear sunglasses to help you, but sometimes it just doesn't work. Let's see what we got up here. Here's a piece of a true tulip right here. What is this little thing? I don't know what that is. I might have to come back to this shell pile in a little bit because I kind of want to dig through it a little bit more. Oh, here's another there's a little whelk. Okay, hold on. Every time I say I'm gonna leave, here's another little whelk, here's another little top, here's a little rose petal tellin. I spy with my little eye a teeny tiny tulip, and you guys know I love teeny tiny tulips. We have a beautiful horse conch right here. Look at this, just right here. I mean, that's a great little handful of shells. Just right here. I mean, they're not big shells. Look at this little tiny angel wing. Look how cute. And I know not everybody, you know, loves the minis and the tinies, and I get that. But if you do, if you are somebody that loves the minis and the tiny shells, then this is going to be a place where you want to hang out in this little shell pile right here. Little pear whelk. Down here, and I have to check it out. Look at this. Is this a little tiny horse conch? It's like the tiniest horse conch like ever in the history of horse conchs. We have a really pretty olive here too. So many fun shells, and this pile is like absolutely ginormous. Alright, so I think I'm going to come back to this pile in a little bit because I'm definitely not done shelling this pile. Okay, so this shell pile that we were in, which was like kind of big, was right there. And then there's this shell pile, which is like even bigger right here. And I just want to show you guys, I won't steer her for too long, but I just want to show you guys, like, here's a piece of a true tulip right here. And this shell pile has a little bit bigger shells, so there's like a whelk right there. We've got some larger, oh, here's a little nutmeg hiding. It's really cute. So we've got some larger conchs, so we've got some bigger shells here. So if you are looking for more of the like larger shells, this might be like where you want to hang and kind of look through a little bit more. Like if you guys can tell, like there's just more big conchs. Here's another bigger olive shell. And up here, you know, kind of take a peek up here. Do you see how like there's just bigger chunks of shells? Oh, and look, here's an alphabet cone. Look at it, right here. I mean, it's not like the most pretty alphabet cone, but it's an alphabet cone. Here's a little gaudy right here, right next to it, down here. Okay, so that's why I say, like, check around the bases of these trees and stuff, and and you never know like what you'll find. You might find your true tulip or your Scotch bonnet or even your Junonia hiding amongst all this other stuff. There's a king crown right here, a big one. It's got a little hole in it, but that would have been a super nice king crown. This is a great little shell spot. It's a really pretty whelk. I'm gonna just take a peek down here. This is what I was talking to you about, like all of this that was covered with the water. And this is where I found my Junonia buried. So all of this you can look through as well to see what has been uncovered since the tide's gone out. Here's a beautiful shiny olive. Let's see what else we've got in here. Here it looks like there's another olive right here. And it looks like we've got a whelk buried right here. Let's see if we can rinse it off a little bit. Really pretty whelk too. Look at that. Nice big pretty whelk. Lots of conchs. Conchs all day. Conchs for days. I love conchs. I can pick up conchs and fill my shell bag with them. But you've gotta kind of really look and seek out these shells, because I guarantee you will look right over something that's buried or something that is laying underneath a stump that you might not even see otherwise. Really gotta look. Alright, here's another shell pile, and I just scooped down, and just right here, really nice gaudy couple tops, a really cool piece of coral, Florida cone. Here's an olive. It's a really pretty little apple murex. I love these nice shiny olives. Another little gaudy. Look at that. Look how shiny. It's really pretty. Lots of olives. I love these shiny olives. Oh, another gaudy too. Really big piece of a true. And pretty. What's it called? Lots of shells. So I get asked a lot about cleaning shells, right? So somebody had asked me a question, and I can tell you guys that, you know, these shells are muddy. Like, this is stinky out here. So, okay guys, sorry, somebody stopped by and asked me a question about a shell real quick, but what I was saying is, you know, if you're shelling on Marco, or you're shelling on Sanibel, where it's pretty clean water and pretty clean sand, you really don't have to worry too much about you know, the shells being dirty. But when you're out here, like, this is all muddy, and these shells tend to be very, very stinky, and so I highly suggest cleaning them in a nice bleach bath. Look at this Alfie right here, just sitting here, and this is so cool. Look at the little barnacles. So like, when I see something like this, I usually leave the barnacles on, because I just think it gives it, like, let me turn this away so you guys can see, so much more like personality to the shell, that I know some of you like take them off. But what would you do? Would you leave them on or take them off? I'd leave them on. But anyway, you definitely want to put these shells in a nice little bleach bath, because these are going to be very stinky, and you can just smell, like, it just smells a little bit stinky out here. And that is why I tell people, you know, it just depends on if your shells are dirty. If they're not dirty, you know, if you're on Sanibel and they're really not dirty and smelly, you really don't have to clean them per se. You know, usually just a nice rinse is really all you need. Look at that nice king crown. There's another one here. But you know, here, out here in the 10,000 Islands, like, they're stinky. So you're definitely gonna want to clean them off. Okay, look, let's see, what's this? It's just a conch, okay. Just a conch. Here's a really pretty whelk here. But there's just so many amazing shells here. Oh, look at this really big angel wing. Perfect. Beautiful angel wing here. Alright guys, the tide has gone out quite a bit, so you can see how much the beach has been uncovered. And I'm going to walk over here to this side. All of this is just freshly uncovered, so hopefully we'll find some really fun stuff and all this junk. So let's kind of look and see what we got going on here. There's so many things to look at when there's like kind of beach garbage, seaweed and sticks and driftwood and everything mixed in between. So you have to kind of really play the I spy with my little eye. It's really pretty well. Color on that one. Can get it to zoom. I mean focus. With all the barnacles on it. It's a little cute piece of coral. We don't find a lot of coral here, even a lot on the other coast. Not so much on this coast, but look at this monster sized king crown. That's not a hole in it, that's just a, wow, look how big that is. Whoa, huge. Huge, look at all these shells, oh my gosh. Wow, I'm just doing the first kind of rack line here, just to kind of see if anything catches my eye, and I'm kind of holding the phone as low as I can so you guys can see as well. Lots of fun little pieces of driftwood. I love these. These are so fun. Stick them in a little vase or a little bowl with shells. It's really gorgeous, bright orange horse conch. super pretty. Oh, yeah, I think it's a Florida cone. It's got some spots on it. Wannabe alphabet. Here is like mini tiny city. So for those of you who are obsessed with teeny tiny shells, look how cute. Oh my god. I'm gonna stay here for a minute. But look how cute. Little shark eye. Oh my gosh, look how cute these are. Oh my gosh, that little well. Oh, it's so cute. Look how teeny tiny they all are. Massive. I love them. Horse cones.
I think Florida cones are my favorite today.
There's certainly a lot of Florida cones out here.
Guy. Isn't that beautiful?
Alright guys, as we make our way back towards the boat, I just wanted to thank you guys so much again for joining me on this fun episode after the storm here on Kice Island, out with treasure seeker shell tours. And if you have not been on a shell tour yet, if you're a shell lover, which obviously all of you are, and you have not had the chance to come out on a tour yet, you should, because I can't even explain to you how fun it is to literally be dropped off in shell heaven, to be put on an island that is known for crazy awesome shells, and just you know, be able to just go wherever you want to and shell to your heart's content. It's so fun. And just so you guys know, the tour is 4 hours, which includes approximately 15 minutes to the dock and to the island and back. So you're looking at about 3.5 hours of shelling, which, you know, don't be concerned, because that's a lot of time, and it is plenty of time to be able to come out here and shell. And, you know, it's not enough time to do the entire island, but that's why you can always come back. So it is just so much fun. I highly recommend it. If you're going to be visiting the area, Marco, Naples, Fort Myers, Sanibel, anywhere in Southwest Florida, check out her website. You can visit her at www.treasureseekershelltours.com and check out that information, and be sure to book a reservation, because they do fill up quickly. There's a little sand dollar there. They do fill up quickly, so you don't want to wait until you get down here and then find out there's no spots available. So be sure that you book in advance and let me know, because if you're coming down to do a shell tour, I would love to see if I can jump on the tour with you and we can shell together, because that would be super fun. So thank you guys so much for joining me again and for your support. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I thought it was super, super fun, and being able to explore Kice and be able to see what it looked like after the storm. Lots of fun shell piles and things washing up, and we found some really cool stuff, and I picked up some other really cool things for you guys too. So I will be sending those out to you guys in your beach treasure boxes. So I'm super excited for you guys to receive those. And if you have any questions, as always, please let me know. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you guys again next time right here on the Virtual Shelling Network.